Hi. Thank you for attending today's reading. Let's begin. I secretly tell Alexa to do things from the other room when my parents try to use it. And it makes me feel proud of myself. Both my parents are Chinese immigrants who never got their English pronunciations fully down. So Alexa almost never responds when they try to say, Alex, Alessa, Axa, etc. So if I hear my dad trying to get Alexa to turn on the lights or play music, I'll tell our other Echo device to do it. For some reason it makes me happy to just see them enjoy using Alexa instead of going over and trying to correct them. End of story. Next story. I'm ashamed to call myself a feminist because all of these women that hate men have come out of the blue in large numbers all around the nation claiming to be feminists. They are not feminists. Feminists don't hate men. I hate associating myself with women that act like such victims. End of story. Next story. I nap and jerk it at work all the time. The most hilarious part is I am being offered a raise. My job is incredibly slow and boring. Most of the day I watch Netflix and fuck off on the computer. Sometimes I get really tired. Close my office door and take a nap. Sometimes I close the door and I jack off because I am horny. I gave my boss my notice because I am so sick of my job and I want to do something more meaningful with my time. She offered me more money to stay because I am so good at what I do. I find it pretty ironic given exactly what I do all day, haha. I feel no remorse. End of story. Next story. My teenage daughter has been a bit of a jerk lately, so I deliberately bought 2 boxes of sugary breakfast cereal and no milk. Then I waited for her to fill her bowl. And then one smiled inside. End of story. Next story. I flushed the toilet on someone using their phone. I was on the toilet at work this morning, and someone in the stall next to me decided to answer their phone and start chatting. I intentionally stopped shitting early so I could flush the toilet while they were on the phone and alert whoever was on the call where they were. Surprise. Dumbass. End of story. Next story. This week a Snapchat stopped me from killing myself. I only use Snapchat to talk to my much younger little siblings. I was spiraling, angry, and getting ready to attempt suicide when my phone buzzed. My little brother, 13, had sent me a snap, asking me to play my favorite Snap game, the one where you guess the movie from the picture. I just really love movies. I ended up playing the Snap game with him until I fell asleep. End of story. Next story. An essay my sister wrote got published in a magazine with my name as the author. A few years ago I was very ill and in hospital, but my school wouldn't give me any exemptions. Regarding schoolwork, I was hanging on a very loose thread, and if I was to fail any classes that term, the school said I would be held back a year. My sister knew that this would absolutely devastate me, so because I could hardly lift my head and I was attached to countless drips at the time, she took it upon herself to write and submit the assignment for me. About a month later my teacher excitedly showed me that she had submitted my piece to a magazine. Because of how well it was written and they had chosen to publish it, my name and picture was under the article. They mentioned it at my graduation. They gave me a medal for the subject, and they even put an additional copy of the article in the school's magazine, and my sister just played along the whole time and still does whenever someone brings it up. She is an absolute legend and I can never thank her enough for saving my ass. End of story. Next story. Finally had an orgasm during intercourse. As the title suggests, I finally had an orgasm with my partner after months of dating and trying to get there. I had to get over a lot of mental blocks to finally feel comfortable to let myself relax and climax. I had previous terrible experiences with abusive men that made me keep a guard up. He was ecstatic and neither him or I saw it coming, which really only heightened the greatness of it. I keep thinking about the happiness on his face when he saw my body reacting. Love is awesome. And it makes my heart warm to see how proud of himself he is. Edit. Thank you guys for such an overwhelmingly positive response. I saw some negative comments too and just wanted to clarify that I posted here cause eta euro s. Something I wouldn't euro t tell anyone else. Hence it being my confession. Euro am really happy about it though and thought eta euro d be nice for someone else to read if they were in a similar position. Love to all. End of story. Next story. I quit crystal meth on February 1st. Today somebody left some on my coffee table and I threw it out. Feeling like I've proven I'm free. End of story. Next story. I am 6 feet 4 inches. When I'm in a group of people and someone asks my height, I always say 6 feet even. I find other guys' mildly panicked responses entertaining. The height difference is obvious, so people know someone is lying. People wouldn't suspect a tall person to lie that they're shorter than they actually are. End of story. Next story. Y'all, this is the best. I am so happy. Y'all. Okay, so the COVID-19 virus had me fucked up for like 2 weeks BC. My job fired me immediately, so I had to look for a job everywhere. I finally got a job, and as soon as they hired me, a $2 raise came into effect for all employees. So theta euro s awesome, right? But then my other job I was fired from called me back and asked me to work overnight full-time. So now I got 2 full-time jobs. And during this whole virus shit, I know people are losing jobs, but euro am so sorry. I am getting paid. Like I literally screamed. And euro am moving out of my abusive BFA euro s place. Like I feel so free. This is the best. A new life. Also I got all euro s in my classes. Like, can my life get any better? Euro am so fucking happy. Anyways, yeah, theta euro s it. I hope everyone is surviving out here. End of story. Next story. In kindergarten, I called a girl Rocks in Sand. But apparently her name was Roxanne. No wonder she hated me so much. End of story. Next story. My 4th grade teacher taught me something I'll never forget. I don't know why she felt the need to do it, but it's stuck with me through everything. So my entire class had been making paper airplanes and terrorizing the teacher. She was fed up with it. She didn't want to see another paper airplane. But that didn't stop the class from making them. Now this was a small class. About 6 to 7 kiddos. And they all knew how to make paper airplanes. All of them. Except me. Now, I was visibly distraught one day because they had all been making airplanes to fly outside at recess and I didn't know how to ask them to teach me. My teacher must have noticed I was distraught and asked me to stay back during recess. Which wasn't new. I was the trouble student. Smarter than I should have been and never did my homework like I should have. But instead of keeping me back for unfinished homework, she sat me down and taught me how to make a paper airplane. This is my confession. My teacher was amazing. Full stop. End of story. That is all for today. If you want to support my automated channel, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.